Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is Anuja Kumar with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Kushinagar International Airport in Uttar Pradesh, says India is committed to developing and providing better connectivity to Buddhist holy places. Prime Minister says the world is facing many problems related to environment, and if we follow the path shown by Buddha, we will get all solutions. Addresses a function at Mahaparinirvan Temple in Kushinagar on the auspicious Abhidham Divas. India government has succeeded in instilling confidence among people in the last 6 to 7 years that it is possible to contain corruption, says the Prime Minister. President Ramnath Kovind reaches Patna on a 3-day visit to Bihar. Rajasthan reports not a single new case of COVID for the first time since March 2020. No COVID death reported in the state in the last 70 days. India is fast approaching 100 crore COVID vaccine doses milestone. Administers over 99 crore 12 lakh COVID vaccine doses so far. 47 killed and 5 people missing in rain-related incidents in Uttarakhand. Met Department forecasts less rainfall in Kerala. Prime Minister to interact with CEOs and experts of global oil and gas sector this evening. Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan inaugurates Atmanirbhar Bharat Corner in Sudan to showcase India's arts and handicrafts. And in Men's T20 Cricket World Cup, India to face Australia in the second warm-up match in Dubai this evening. As India is on the verge of vaccinating 100 crore people against COVID-19, All India Radio salutes all the doctors, nurses and others who made this possible. At the same time, we caution our listeners that the battle against COVID is not yet over. We appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and also help others get vaccinated. During the festival season, please follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that India is a center of Buddhist faith and the inauguration of Kushinagar International Airport today is a tribute to Buddhism. The Prime Minister inaugurated the Kushinagar International Airport in Uttar Pradesh today. On the occasion, Mr. Modi said that the holy land of Kushinagar is now connected with the world. He said that India is committed to develop the regions related to Buddhism and is working continuously to provide better connectivity to these holy places.
विश्व भर के बौद्ध समाज की श्रद्धा का, आस्था का, प्रेरणा का केंद्र आज कुशीनगर इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट की ये सुविधा एक प्रकार से उनकी श्रद्धा को अर्पित पुष्पांजलि है। भगवान बुद्ध के ज्ञान से लेकर महापरिनिर्वाण तक ये संपूर्ण यात्रा का साक्षी ये क्षेत्र आज सीधे दुनिया से जुड़ गया है।
The Prime Minister said that the civil aviation sector in the country has seen an uptick in recent years.
भारत में हो रहे इन निरंतर रिफॉर्म्स का ही परिणाम है कि भारतीय सिविल एविएशन सेक्टर में 1000 नए विमान जुड़ने का अनुमान लगाया गया है। उड़ान योजना के तहत बीते सालों में 900 से अधिक नए रूट्स को स्वीकृति दी जा चुकी है। इनमें से 350 से अधिक पर हवाई सेवा शुरू भी हो चुकी है। 50 से अधिक नए एयरपोर्ट या जो पहले सेवा में नहीं थे उनको चालू किया जा चुका है। आने वाले 3-4 सालों में कोशिश ये है कि देश में 200 से अधिक एयरपोर्ट, हेलीपोर्ट और सी प्लेन की सेवा देने वाले वाटर ड्रोम का नेटवर्क भी देश में तैयार हो।
The Prime Minister said the nation has taken a big step recently with regard to Air India. He said this will infuse new life to the aviation sector. The Prime Minister said India has also recently launched Gati Shakti, National Master Plan. He said this will enhance governance and would make the various infrastructure development sectors like road and rail to work with better coordination.
कुशीनगर इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट सिर्फ एयर कनेक्टिविटी का ही एक माध्यम नहीं बनेगा, बल्कि इसके बनने से किसान हो, पशुपालक हो, दुकानदार हो, श्रमिक हो, यहाँ के उद्यमी हो, सभी को इसका सीधा सीधा लाभ मिलता ही है। इससे व्यापार कारोबार का एक पूरा इकोसिस्टम यहाँ विकसित होगा। सबसे ज्यादा लाभ यहाँ के टूरिज्म को, ट्रैवल टैक्सी वालों को, होटल रेस्टोरेंट जैसे छोटे मोटे बिजनेस वालों को भी होने वाला है। इससे इस क्षेत्र के युवाओं के लिए रोजगार के भी अनेक नए अवसर बनेंगे।
Earlier, the Union Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia, in his address, applauded the Uttar Pradesh government and the Civil Aviation Ministry for building Kushinagar International Airport in the record time of 2 years. Speaking on the occasion, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said,
उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर एयर कनेक्टिविटी हर एक शहर के साथ जुड़ी है और ये एयर कनेक्टिविटी केवल वायु सेवा के साथ एक स्थान को दूसरे स्थान को जोड़ने का माध्यम नहीं बना है। विकास की ढेर सारी योजनाओं को भी अपने साथ लेकर के आ रही है। विकास की एक नई उड़ान के साथ आ रही है। कुशीनगर उत्तर प्रदेश का तीसरा अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हवाई अड्डा है और वर्तमान में उत्तर प्रदेश 11 नए एयरपोर्ट पर कार्य कर रहा है।
Uttar Pradesh Governor Anandiben Patel, Union Minister of Law and Justice Kiran Rijiju, Minister for Culture and Tourism G. Kishan Reddy and others were also present on the occasion. Earlier at around 9 o'clock, inaugural flight landed at Kushinagar International Airport from Colombo, carrying over 100 dignitaries and Buddhist monks. Eminent monks from Sri Lanka, Thailand, Myanmar, South Korea, Nepal, Bhutan, Cambodia and ambassadors of various countries are also participating in the event held on the auspicious day of Sharad Purnima. Prime Minister said that the arrival of the Sri Lankan delegation by the inaugural flight signifies the religious, social and spiritual bonds that both countries share. He said the 2,000 years old Indo-Sri Lankan relationship is further strengthened by today's inauguration of Kushinagar Airport. He said this in a function held at the Mahaparinirvan temple in Kushinagar on the auspicious Abhidham Divas. Sri Lankan Sports Minister Namal Rajapakse said one of the greatest gifts Sri Lanka got from India is Buddhism. He said Hinduism and Buddhism have coexisted and this deep-rooted relationship will be strengthened further.
The greatest gift that Sri Lanka has ever got from India is Buddhism. Ever since it arrived, the relationship between people to people in our countries have been growing strength to strength. We believe that this will not only benefit the Sri Lankans, but everyone all over the world. It symbolizes the role India has played in our history and the role India will play in the future.
Earlier, Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla received Sri Lanka's Sports Minister and son of Sri Lankan Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapakse. Expressing happiness, Vietnam Ambassador Pham San Chau also said,
the biggest amount of visitors coming from Vietnam to India is basically Buddhist and Buddhist pilgrimage. Therefore, we are very, very happy and very, very delighted to see this airport becoming international airport. That helps to reduce the travel distance very, very much.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said the NDA government has succeeded in instilling confidence among people in the last 6 to 7 years that it is possible to contain corruption. In a video message at the joint conference of Central Vigilance Commission and Central Bureau of Investigation, Mr. Modi said there is a political will to attack corruption and continuous improvement is also being carried out at the administrative level.
करप्शन से जुड़ी नई चुनौतियों के सार्थक समाधान तलाशने के लिए आप सब सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल के सानिध्य में महामंथन के लिए जुटे हैं। आज हम भारत की आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव मना रहे हैं। आने वाले 25 वर्ष यानी इस अमृत काल में आत्मनिर्भर भारत के विराट संकल्पों की सिद्धि की तरफ देश बढ़ रहा है। आज हम गुड गवर्नेंस को एक प्रकार से गुड गवर्नेंस, प्रो पीपल, प्रोएक्टिव गवर्नेंस को सशक्त करने में जुटे हैं।
He said nation is convinced that they can avail the benefits of government schemes without any middlemen or commission. The conference is taking place at Kevadia in Gujarat. Mr. Modi stressed that people now believe that government will not spare the corrupts, no matter how powerful they may be. Mr. Modi called upon the officers of CBI and CVC to rededicate themselves to wipe out corruption from all walks of life.
भ्रष्टाचार, करप्शन, छोटा हो या बड़ा, वो किसी न किसी का हक छीनता ही है। ये देश के सामान्य नागरिक को उसके अधिकारों से वंचित करता है, राष्ट्र की प्रगति में बाधक होता है और एक राष्ट्र के रूप में हमारी सामूहिक शक्ति को भी प्रभावित करता है। आप सभी साथियों पर, जिन संस्थानों से आपका संबंध है, उन पर करप्शन रूपी अन्याय को खत्म करने की बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी है।
The Prime Minister said approach of trust and technology has strengthened efficient governance and ease of doing business. The Prime Minister explained how his government undertook the task of reduction of government interference in the lives of the common people in a mission mode by simplifying the government procedures. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that Uttar Pradesh is number one state in administering COVID vaccine and the centre and state governments are continuously working to develop the state. He said this in a function where he laid the foundation stone of Rajkiya Medical College in Kushinagar in Uttar Pradesh. He also inaugurated and laid the foundation of various development projects. The Prime Minister also said in previous governments, development schemes were delayed to years.
कुशीनगर में राजकीय मेडिकल कॉलेज बनने से आपको अब इलाज के लिए एक नई सुविधा मिल गई है। बिहार के सीमावर्ती इलाकों को भी इसका लाभ मिलेगा। गंडक नदी के आसपास के सैकड़ों गांवों को बाढ़ से बचाने के लिए अनेक जगहों पर तटबंध का निर्माण हो, कुशीनगर राजकीय महाविद्यालय का निर्माण हो, दिव्यांग बच्चों के लिए महाविद्यालय हो, ये क्षेत्र को अभाव से निकालकर आकांक्षाओं की तरफ ले जाएंगे।
India is rapidly approaching the milestone of 100 crore COVID vaccine doses. Over 99 crore 12 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far. A total of 14,623 new cases of COVID-19 were also reported in the last 24 hours. The recovery rate is currently at 98.15%, which is the highest since March last year. Over 19,400 people recovered in the last 24 hours. Active cases account for less than 1% of the total cases.
Over 102 crore COVID vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories so far. The vaccines have been given through the central government free of cost channel and direct state procurement category. The Health Ministry said more than 10 crore 78 lakh balance and unutilized COVID vaccine doses are still available with the states and UTs. In Rajasthan, not a single new case of COVID has been reported yesterday for the first time since March 2020. About 18,000 samples of COVID were tested in the state yesterday, but no one tested positive. The recovery rate of COVID in the state has also gone up to 99.57%. Now, only 38 active patients are in the state. 23 out of 33 districts have been completely COVID-free. There is not a single active patient in these districts. No death has been reported in the state due to COVID in the last 70 days.
Puducherry Lieutenant Governor Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan directed the health authorities to vaccinate 1 lakh persons before the Deepavali festival. A report from a Puducherry correspondent.
While addressing the media, the Lieutenant Governor Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan said that if the remaining 2 lakh persons could be vaccinated with their first dose, the Union Territory would attain 100% coverage of its population with at least a single dose. She had directed the health authorities to target vaccinating at least 1 lakh persons across the UT within a span of 2 weeks. Moreover, the fresh cases in the Union Territory dropped to 42 today with 461 active cases. No death is reported throughout the Union Territory. The test positivity rate has come down to 1.03% and the recovery rate touched 98.19%. Chandramohan, Air News, Puducherry.
In Bihar, polling is underway peacefully for the fourth phase of Panchayat elections amidst tight security. Polling, which began at 7 a.m., will continue till 5 p.m. Polling is being held in 53 blocks spread over 36 districts. For the first time, EVMs are being used in Panchayat polls in the state. Counting of votes will take place on 22nd and 23rd of October.
In Assam, campaigning gains momentum for the by-polls to be held on the 30th of this month in 5 assembly seats. A total of 31 candidates are in the fray. Nearly 8 lakh voters can exercise the voting rights in the by-polls. In Kerala, 4 new judges C. Jayachandran, Sophie Thomas, P.G. Ajit Kumar and C.S. Sudha were sworn in as additional judges of the Kerala High Court today. Chief Justice S. Mani Kumar administered the oath of office to the new judges at a function held at the High Court this morning. With this, the total strength of judges in the Kerala High Court has gone up to 41.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Kushinagar International Airport in Uttar Pradesh. Says India is committed to developing and providing better connectivity to Buddhist holy places. Prime Minister says the world is facing many problems related to environment, and if we follow the path shown by Buddha, we will get all solutions. Addresses a function at Mahaparinirvan Temple in Kushinagar on the auspicious Abhidhamma Divas. NDA government has succeeded in instilling confidence among people in the last 6 to 7 years that it is possible to contain corruption, says the Prime Minister. President Ramnath Kovind reaches Patna on a 3-day visit to Bihar. Rajasthan reports not a single new case of COVID for the first time since March 2020. No COVID death reported in the state in the last 70 days. India is fast approaching 100 crore COVID vaccine doses milestone. Administers over 99 crore 12 lakh COVID vaccine doses so far. 47 killed and 5 people missing in rain-related incidents in Uttarakhand. Met Department forecasts less rainfall in Kerala. Prime Minister to interact with CEOs and experts of global oil and gas sector this evening. Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan inaugurates Atmanirbhar Bharat Corner in Sudan to showcase India's arts and handicrafts. And in Men's T20 Cricket World Cup, India to face Australia in second warm-up match in Dubai this evening. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Midday News. President Ramnath Kovind reached Patna this afternoon on a 3-day visit to Bihar. Governor Phagu Chauhan, Assembly Speaker Vijay Kumar Sinha, Chief Minister Nitish Kumar and several dignitaries welcomed the President at the airport. The President was accorded a guard of honor on his arrival. During the visit, President Kovind will participate in the celebration marking the centenary of the Bihar Legislative Assembly building tomorrow. Bihar Assembly Speaker Vijay Kumar Sinha said, through centenary celebration, the new generation will come to know about the glorious past of the Assembly.
बिहार का संदेश देश और दुनिया में हमारे जो पहले के पूर्वज थे, अग्रज थे, उन लोगों के द्वारा गया है, उसको स्मृत करने, उसको जानने के लिए, नई पीढ़ी को बताने के लिए और बिहार के गौरवशाली इतिहास से देश दुनिया को परिचित कराने के लिए ये शताब्दी वर्ष बहुत ही ऐतिहासिक रहेगा.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with the chief executive officers and experts of global oil and gas sector at 6 p.m. today through video conferencing. Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister Hardeep Singh Puri will be present on the occasion.
In Kerala, bringing respite to the intensity of rain, the Met Department had revised the forecast with less rainfall in coming days. Even as intensity of rain decreases, authorities have urged the citizens to remain alert, especially those in landslide-prone regions and in riverside areas. According to official estimates, heavy rain in the state had claimed 39 lives so far since the last week. In Uttarakhand, death toll in heavy rain-related incidents has gone up to 47, while 5 people are still missing. Heavy rains have caused maximum loss of life and property in Kumaon region. Maximum deaths have been reported from Nainital district. Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami has announced an ex gratia payment of 4 lakh rupees for the family of the deceased. Relief and rescue operation is going on in full swing in rain-affected areas of the state. National Disaster Response Force has deployed 15 teams in Uttarakhand to assist in rescue and relief operations. 3 Indian Air Force choppers are also carrying out relief and rescue operations in rain-ravaged state.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today paid tributes to Maharishi Valmiki on the occasion of Valmiki Jayanti. In a tweet, the Prime Minister recalled Maharishi Valmiki's seminal contributions towards chronicling the country's rich past and glorious culture. Mr. Modi said his emphasis on social empowerment keeps inspiring people. As the nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events have been organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz has been conducted every Monday and Tuesday in the morning news since 16th August and will continue till 15th August 2022. India Post has joined hands as a logistics partner with All India Radio News for the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. The next question of Amrit Mahotsav quiz will be shared with listeners on Monday, 25th October. Let's listen to a special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. India's glorious fight for freedom is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the valiant struggle every day. On 20th of October 1914, Bhupesh Gupta was born at Itna in the erstwhile Mymensingh district of Bengal province in British India. He studied at the Scottish Church College in the University of Calcutta. He joined the Bengal revolutionaries in his school days. He had been held in detention for 4 years and more.
Later, Bhupesh went to London and joined the clandestine group of Indian communists. He actively participated in the India League's propaganda work among the British public, pressing for India's demand for complete independence. Despite poor health, due to his years in prison, Bhupesh Gupta was singularly active, eluding the British police.
Bhupesh's circle, however, was not confined to communists. Young, old and many others were drawn to him. This way, it was not surprising that he was very friendly with Feroz Gandhi and Indira Nehru, friendships which survived many a storm. All three of them returned home by the same boat during wartime.
Coming back, Bhupesh went straight into the Communist Party's central underground, where he worked under P.C. Joshi for some time. In 1941, he came out in the open and became active in Bengal. He was one of the pioneers in setting up the Friends of the Soviet Union along with Jyoti Basu. From the days in Britain, both were close to each other.
Close comradeship continued uninterrupted until 1964, when the communist movement was split. Bhupesh choosing to stay with the CPI, while Jyoti joined the leadership of the CPM. By the time independence came, Bhupesh had emerged as a young but significant political personality in Bengal. There was the promise of many heights to conquer.
He was a member of the Rajya Sabha for 5 terms from West Bengal. From 3rd of April 1952 till his death, he was a skilled parliamentarian. Bhupesh came to eminence by his fearless courage to stand up against injustice or inequity, or to uphold national dignity.
One can narrate 100 episodes bringing out Bhupesh's dauntless fight within the Rajya Sabha. He died in Moscow on the 6th of August, 1981.
Belika Kate Sangaran Achyutanathan was born on 20th of October 1923 to Sankaran and Akkamma in Purapra, Alapura, Travancore. Since he lost both parents at a very young age, he was forced to quit his studies after finishing the 7th standard. He participated in the freedom movement and the communist movement. Later, VS organized agricultural workers in Kushinagar and agitated against the rulers.
At 16, he became a dedicated organizer of choir factory workers. He was noted for his simplicity, dedication and deep reading. VS was in the forefront of the Punapra Vayalar uprising against the policies of C.P. Ramaswamy Iyer, Diwan of Travancore, who wanted to establish an American model government in Travancore. He was arrested on the 28th of October 1946 and taken to Punjar police station.
He was beaten up severely in the lockup. VS spent 5.5 years in jail and 4 years underground during his political life. He has also been active in parliamentary politics. He was elected as a member of Kerala Legislative Assembly 7 times.
He became the 11th Chief Minister of Kerala in 2006 at the age of 82.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar AIR News ke Sang. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan has inaugurated an Atmanirbhar Bharat corner at the premises of Indian Embassy Khartoum in Sudan to showcase India's arts and handicrafts. He interacted with the Indian community in Sudan and Sudanese who have graduated from India. He invited them to take part in Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Mr. Muralidharan also reiterated Indian government's commitment for the welfare and well-being of Indian diaspora. The minister is currently on a 5-day visit to Sudan and South Sudan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio on Sunday. It will be the 82nd episode of the monthly radio program. People can share their views in the Namo app or MyGov Open Forum. They can also dial the toll-free number 1800-117800 and record their message for the Prime Minister in either Hindi or English. In the Men's T20 Cricket World Cup, India will face Australia in the second warm-up match in Dubai today. The match will begin at 3:30 p.m. Indian time. The men in blue had defeated England by 7 wickets in their first warm-up match at the same venue on Monday. India will kick off their T20 World Cup campaign against Pakistan on 24th of October. All India Radio will broadcast ball-by-ball commentary of the World Cup from 23rd of this month.
Now let us take a look at the weather update for today. The national capital Delhi is likely to have mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature is 20 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be 32 degrees. Mumbai will have partly cloudy sky. It recorded a minimum temperature of 24 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be 33 degrees. Chennai is expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The lower limit of temperature is 28 degrees Celsius, while the upper limit is expected to be nearly 36 degrees. Kolkata will have generally cloudy sky with few spells of rain or thunder showers. The city noted a minimum temperature of 24 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be 27 degrees. Kushinagar will have mainly clear sky. Temperature will hover between 6 and 21 degrees Celsius. Jammu will also have mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature is 17 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 33 degrees. Leh will have mainly clear sky. In Gilgit will also have mainly clear sky, with temperature hovering between 4 and 24 degrees Celsius. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Kushinagar International Airport in Uttar Pradesh, says India is committed to developing and providing better connectivity to Buddhist holy places. Prime Minister says the world is facing many problems related to environment, and if we follow the path shown by Buddha, we will get all solutions. Addresses a function at the Mahaparinirvan Temple in Kushinagar on the auspicious Abhidhamma Divas. NDA government has succeeded in instilling confidence among people in the last 6 to 7 years that it is possible to contain corruption, says the Prime Minister. President Ramnath Kovind reaches Patna on a 3-day visit to Bihar. Rajasthan reports not a single new case of COVID for the first time since March 2020. No COVID death reported in the state in the last 70 days. India is fast approaching 100 crore COVID vaccine doses milestone. Administers over 99 crore 12 lakh COVID vaccine doses so far. 47 killed and 5 people missing in rain-related incidents in Uttarakhand. Met Department forecasts less rainfall in Kerala. Prime Minister to interact with CEOs and experts of global oil and gas sector this evening. Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan inaugurates Atmanirbhar Bharat corner in Sudan to showcase India's art and handicrafts. And in Men's T20 Cricket World Cup, India to face Australia in the second warm-up match in Dubai this evening. And with that we end the Midday News.